Alright, today's project is the pump body, the gland, the suction valve seat and top cap. These are the little caps and end plugs, etc. This is the main part that you see here. Quite an interesting part. We've got a 10-degree bore through there. We've got one bore in that direction, one bore in that direction, another one in that direction. They're all reamed out to a larger size to accept a thread. Same with this end, and then there's also the pump gland which goes on this end, which is the rod that goes out to the eccentric. There's the pump gland. I'm not sure how many of these little bits will get done in this episode. Depends on how long this takes me. Got a little bit of fettling to do on this casting first. It's got a tail piece for chucking it, but I don't really think I'll need that because I'm not going to put it in the lathe. I think I can do everything I need to do actually in the mill, and by chucking it, the only thing you can do is to turn that to a better round. So I may or may not do that, I'm not sure. It's not important. You can't turn this one to a better round because the foot, this is the foot that goes onto the mount, because the foot will hit the tool before the tool hits this bit as it spins. So that's not really a great deal of use, so I might just cut that off and start directly in the mill. Right, so that's the orientation, that way for that way. So we'll get these faces machined off, get it fettled up a little bit, and I'll be back when I'm set up in the mill. I decided to put it in the lathe after all and use this just to create a little reference surface. So now that's my initial reference that I can use to get other reference surfaces when I start machining it. Right, I've got it set down on the reference face, so I can now machine this face, might take a skim off there. Although I can't see any benefit to that. No, I won't. I'll just machine that face and that face. I might take a pass along the back just to give me a reference surface there. Right, I've now got two reference surfaces there, a reference surface there, so I can now sit this edge down on the parallel along the back. And clamp on the other two reference surfaces. A smaller parallel in there. Right, I could sit it on this reference surface that I've machined on this bottom edge, and I can clamp on these two reference surfaces in the vise. Now I can machine this surface as a reference surface. reference surface complete. Right, I now need to set this up to 10 degrees. So I've got my reference surface here that I can put against the back fence. Put that in there for now. I'm going to set it up on this ball bearing. Hopefully I can clamp it with that. Yep. And now I want to set it to 10 degrees using this reference surface. So I'm going to put a parallel on the bottom there. Put my 10 degrees on there. Tap that into my 10 degrees. Okay, that's exactly 10 degrees, so I can skim this face off now. And then I can use this 10 degrees reference to skim the other side 10 degrees. And then I'll put it back in and sort the hole out. Just show you my little ball I use for clamping. It's a ball bearing with a flat side machined on it. I didn't make it. It's I bought it as a knob, a little draw knob, and it works ideal for this sort of clamping. Right, so I've now got a 10 degree face on there, so I can now use that face to set up the opposite face, which is this part here. Right, so we've got a machine surface there and a machine surface there. Now, how am I going to clamp that? Because if it twists, it's not going to be a flat true 10 degrees, is it? The other option is to clamp it like that and machine the end there. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do that. Right, I've now got two 10-degree parallel surfaces, there and there. So the more faces I get, the easier it's going to become to clamp, because I've got more reference surfaces. So in fact I can now clamp these two in there and just face off this piece. So I've got this surface to clamp off, this surface to clamp off, and this for reference off the parallels. I'm going to put a couple of bigger ones in there. Yeah. Right. Right, we got loads of surfaces now. We can clamp off there, there, 10 degrees. We can clamp off there, yeah, great. So I think we've got all of the surfaces now. We can just get it set up and start drilling out. And we've got this one here, actually, that one, which I think is parallel surface to that. Yes, it is. So we just machine this one, and then that'll be the last of the faces. Right, I've got the block set up at 10 degrees. Referenced off of my bottom 10-degree face and checked against this parallel edge here. So I've got to put a hole all the way through the centre of that. During the reaming process, because this metal is it's what's called gunmetal, it's basically a cast brass or bronze mixture alloy, and it clogs up the flutes in the reamer. So what I'm doing is just stopping every now and then to remove the chips from the reamer using a little bit of aluminium welding rod. what I'm doing here is using the drill bit to realign the part back into the vise. I haven't got any gauge pins or anything like that, so the only way I can get it back exactly where I want it is by putting the drill bit in and then lowering it back into the vise, because obviously the back jaw of the vise hasn't moved. So by lowering it in on the drill bit, it'll get me more or less exactly where I want it, so I can drill out for the tap. Right, there we have it. That's its correct orientation. We've got 10 degree there and there, 90 degrees there. We've got the two bores and the taps either end. We've also got the bore and the tap on this end. That's the base that gets bolted down to the support, the base that the rest of the engine is on, and this end is there. I haven't put the two holes in for the little studs yet, because I normally like to make the gland first and then put it on with a dowel through there to line it up, and then drill them both at the same time. There's the finished piece. Quite a bit of work in this one, but it was quite enjoyable, not too fiddly. Unfortunately, I haven't got time to do the end caps and the gland in this video, but they're going to be in the next episode, I think, because they're quite small and fiddly. They're going to be a video on their own, because I don't really like to run the videos for too long. 20 minutes is probably maximum. I know this one's gone slightly over, but that's about all I like to run it. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, click the like button, subscribe for more content,